Happy May the 4th, everyone! With today being such a special day for Star Wars at large, I thought it might be a good idea to make a different type of video. And in reality, I've been thinking about this video, or rather the things that I'm going to say in this video, for a long time now. And in the back of my head, I always thought that I would be saying these things when I inevitably leave Galaxy of Heroes. But as time has gone on, that has seemed to me to be a really unfair treatment to my community, and specifically to leave these things just to myself until I'm no longer really here. So with that being said, there are two disclaimers that I want to go over before we really get into this, and the first one being, I am not leaving Galaxy of Heroes. I wanted to make that very clear because I probably just scared some of you half to death by even mentioning it. And just so you don't feel like you have to sit on the edge of your seat for the entirety of this, that's not what is happening. I'm not going to stop playing. I'm not going to stop making YouTube videos. I'm not going to stop streaming. Everything is going to continue as normal. That does lead me into disclaimer number 2, which is the fact that this is going to be a more serious in nature video that is going to exhibit what I will call, for lack of a better term, feelings. So if that is not exactly your cup of tea, that's fine. I will not feel offended if you click off now. We'll see you sometime later in the week for a spreadsheet or tier list in one of our other videos. With that being said, I want to really lean into the title now, and that is, say thank you, Galaxy of Heroes community. But the reason why this is going to be an actual probably 8-minute video or so, rather than just a thank you post for something generic and vague, I actually want to explain what I'm thankful for because it matters a lot to me. And there's two main things, and for me to really explain the first one well, I'm going to need to tell a little bit of my story. So for those of you who have tuned in for my live streams over the last couple of years, you will probably already know a lot of this, but just to get it in a concise manner, I'm going to tell it all at once. When I was about 20 years old, I moved to Brazil, where I stayed there for 5 years and really fell in love with the country as a whole. The culture, the people, the food, the climate, etc. And one of the wonderful things that happened there was I got married, and that was it still is an amazing thing to this day that I'm very, very thankful for. What happened after 5 years is me and my wife moved back to the States. And while the move itself had really good motivations and is now great, it was a really, really, really hard year for me personally. We were coming to an area where we didn't really know a lot of people. We were living in one specific friend's basement. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a community. My wife was in the process of getting all of her paperwork done, so she couldn't work at all. So it just put us in a really not exactly preferred place as far as overall logistics go. And a lot of the pressure of those logistics became very difficult for me personally because, like I have kind of mentioned already, I didn't have a physical community at that time around me. And the first job that I initially did find was a remote position that actually only continued to lean into the problem that I'm addressing right now. And that is for the fact that when we first moved to the States for about 1.5 years, I became really isolated. I became depressed. I struggled a lot with anxiety. And some of the only times that I ever felt like myself for that period of time was on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I got to turn on a camera and be with all of you people. And for that, I thank you. I thank you for giving me a platform. I thank you for being a part of my community. I know that all of you showed up for your own various reasons, but I need you to know that you showed up for me when I really needed you to. And I realize that most of us all go through our lives being there for people at different times and thinking of it very nonchalantly, and that it's probably not that big of a deal. But I need you to know that I am thankful and that it was a big deal. It was a really big deal for me because there were a lot of those moments, again, throughout that 1.5 years when I was not in a great place, where I didn't feel like Calvin at all. And you gave me a very, for lack of a better term, safe space to be myself. And it's really a little bit surreal because I've heard of other people who interact with cameras for their jobs, and they've actually said the exact opposite. They say that the moments that people see in front of the camera, it's not who they are at all. And again, for that portion of the time, and by the way, I'm in a much better place now. That was really a defined time where I had not built a community here. I was not in a very good working environment. And thus, since all of that has changed, but I wanted all of you to know that I'm very thankful for that, and for all the interactions that I've had with you, whether it be in a stream, us chatting back and forth, whether you commenting on one of my videos telling me which one of my columns for the Excel spreadsheet needs to be adjusted, or whether it was just several comments in Discord going back and forth about how to work out a new counter. These parts of the relationship that we have in the greater community have been really important to me. The second thing that I want to thank everyone for has to do with the fact that I feel like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has claimed me. And this is going to be really hard to explain just because I don't really know how to put it into words. But over the last year, maybe 2 years, whenever double drops or light speed bundles or anything to do with hoarding comes up, I never find out via a data mined or a Galaxy of Heroes post. Someone is either constantly DMing me on Discord, and different people, by the way, or tagging me in a different video that has nothing to do with hoarding, or I'm seeing people comment in another Discord server that I'm not even really active in, where they're saying, oh, Calvin will make something. And there's just something really, really neat and maybe even tribal about that, where I genuinely really want to continue to do this, not just because I really love Star Wars and I really enjoy video games, but because I feel like I belong here and I feel like I have a very important place here. Some other people outside my, real life world have asked me why I do this, whether it's for the money or just for the sake of a hobby. And the reason why I do it, and some of those other factors are important, but the real reason why I do it is because there is a sense of belonging that I have here. And that belonging isn't tied to double drops. It isn't tied to hoarding energy. It isn't tied to any of that. It's tied to the fact that when those things do come up or other things, you think about me. And I don't know. I just wanted to say that matters. And I'm thankful for it. And I'm thankful for the position you've given me. I'm thankful for the voice you've given me. It means a lot to me. And quite frankly, when some of the other aspects of my life become difficult, this has become a very, very nice retreat. And again, as I said previously, a really nice opportunity for me to be myself and express myself. So that is going to be it. But I really wanted to make it known and make it clear that I am really thankful for, number one, you guys always showing up for me, and the number two, for claiming me as the hoarding energy guy. But overall, thank you guys for watching. Have a happy May the 4th. And thanks for having been awesome.